Hello class, Dr. Mac here, reaching out just to check in. We just finished week 6, the shadow side of Peacebuilding. I just graded all of your assignments and forums. That was some great stuff. Your vulnerability and transparency in this course really is, in a way, how do I put this? Let me articulate my feelings here. In a way, very motivational for me, because I think as an online professor, oftentimes we use a screen to hide behind our shadows or our inadequacies or our feelings or emotions. And to see that complete strangers, well, some of you are now classmates for a few semesters, can come to the table with the spirit of authenticity and sharing and non-judgment. It is super refreshing for me to see that. And I wanted to thank you all for sharing those shadow sides. I know that some of them are very hard to look at, to stare at. Some of them we still can't quite name, and that's okay. We might be able to name them down the line as we sit and reflect more, as we learn ourselves more, as we meet amazing people or take courses that open our ways of thinking up differently. And it's okay to not necessarily know everything about your shadow self yet. I believe it's a path of self-mastery. I don't think we'll ever quite figure ourselves out to a complete, full self. And that's okay, because that shows that we're always reflecting and we want to grow individually, intrinsically, extrinsically, in our relationships with ourselves and others. And as I was thinking about the shadow self and the parts of ourselves, I realized that I didn't really share too much about my own shadow self. So, and a lot of your guys, I say your guys, and I know that's not very friendly. It's very masculine. So let me rephrase that. When I say yins, which is a Pittsburgh term for you all, when I see y'all's, yins, post and authenticity in these forums and speaking about your shadow selves, it's very easy for me to connect. I often find myself going, I do that. And so, you're not alone. There are definitely some me toos, I'm sure, as you read through others' posts. I like to be in control of things. I know that is also a shadow side of me, because when I feel like I lose control, I don't get in check of my emotions and I start blaming other people. I'm going to give you an example from today. It's the end of semester where I teach at my other universities. So in those courses, we have a lot more students. So I probably have 50 or 60 other students. And this is a 7-week online program. So feedback, obviously, and getting the assignments graded and turned back in to the students is imperative, because it's an advanced course. And so those 3 courses just ended. That means I have 60 student papers and forums, much like yours, to grade within a week, which is fine. But then in addition, I have 60 students to do narrative evaluations on, and you only have a week to do it. So as you can imagine, my stress level is high. In addition to that needing to be done in a week, the new fall courses start on the same day that all that is due. So you also have prep and questions from other students. So in addition to that, my partner works at the county shelter. We are a family of many animals. We actually have a 6-pack of dogs, who are actually pretty good. But when my emotions and I'm overwhelmed, I tend to get frustrated with them. And I was having a room in the basement redone in my house, so having it framed in and drywalled. So there were some workers here, and I had to run out to the hardware store to get them something because for some reason it didn't come in the shipment or delivery. And so my partner had to leave to go to work, and I asked her to put the dogs in this spare room that we have so that they weren't overwhelming the workers while we were here. I come home from the hardware store, the dogs are not in the spare room. And, I didn't want them annoying the workers because I'm very mindful because they're attention seeking animals. Like they act like they've been neglected, which they have not. And so, it was just that little thing where I got home and then I texted my partner, like, why couldn't you just do this? I just asked you so that it wasn't crazy and that the dogs weren't going crazy and barking. And also because I had to come straight into a 10 a.m. meeting and I got home at 9:53. So having those dogs in that spare room also would have helped to prepare me for my meeting because I usually just put them in the spare room in case they get crazy or play with toys. So I kind of lashed out at my partner because because I am overwhelmed and I'm not very good at expressing these are my needs. I feel overwhelmed. Why don't you recognize that I'm overwhelmed and you couldn't just do this one small thing? So as I was reading your discussion forums, I related heavily to those that sometimes, and that's the part of myself that, is hard to deal with as far as I don't want to think that just because I'm not in control of a situation that I can let my emotions, hurt other people. And so I kind of lashed out at her. And that's me being aware of my emotions. And I immediately said, I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed with work and meetings and everything that's going on with the workers being here. And I apologized. And then, of course, I followed it up with whatever person, which I think every person would do in a healthy relationship, is suggest that we order Indian for dinner, mostly because there's too many carbs in pizza. So that was just my example I wanted to share with you all. Thank you for sharing and for diving into this content and trusting me to provide a safe space because I know this is sensitive stuff. And I don't think that you can just do it with any professor or any class. There really has to be a valued sense of respect in the course. And so I thank you all for bringing that with you and sharing it. So, in the spirit of just breaking up some serious stuff with just a little fun thing, I wanted to share with you the t-shirt I'm wearing because I think it's kind of funny. Even though you all are my students, I still think it's kind of funny. And it is called Per the Syllabus. It's kind of backwards for you all. But my partner bought it for me because I always complain when people don't read the syllabus. Well, when my students don't read the syllabus and the answer is in the syllabus. So she bought me the shirt and it actually says Professor Mac on the back. And so I thought it was kind of funny because it's end of semester for my other school, beginning of a new semester. And it's kind of like per my email. I know you all probably use that too. But I just thought I'd share just a smile with my t-shirt. I hope you're all doing well. This week we dive into some tools and approaches to peace building. So it'll be a little bit more technical and a little bit less emotional. So you get to take a little break. But feel free to reach out if you need anything with this being midway through the course. I'm asking if you want to. It's too hard to schedule a synchronous Zoom session. We can try that if you want. If that's something that you value, just shoot me an email and let me know, and I'll try and set one up. If not, I'm opening up my email this week for you to individually schedule a one-on-one Zoom session with me so we can check in. Don't feel obligated. I see that you're all busy with Corona and families, and friends and just life, so don't feel obligated. But if you're the kind of student that just feels like they need a little bit more support, that's okay, and that's what I'm here for. So just shoot me an email and we'll set up a Zoom session. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and take care.